Hello again, YouTube. This is the Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel. We're going to have the double dip, the double feature again this Sunday. As y'all can see, the afro is looking real kinky. But y'all know we ain't looking at that. We looking at what we say. Because some of the biggest grifters, they be on point with everything. Shirt, hat, jewelry. So, we're going to have a double feature again today. And this first one, I would call it Sin Lessons. The biggest grift has always been in the Christian church. You got people that for years, hundreds of thousands of years, have been preaching what they want to preach. And sometimes it being more often than none, things that the Most High and his preachers don't preach. So we're going to begin to break it down for you. I'm going to show you how to view sin and what's not. And I'm going to show you the attitude that you need to have to avoid what really is sin. Now, the kingdom, the Bible says, is not meat and drink, but righteousness, joy in the spirit of the Most High God. What does that mean? See, there's people out there that'll teach you that eating a BLT is going to send you to hell. Are you serious? Are you serious? And they'll argue with me up and down. I'm going to break this down. I'm going to limit my debates because I already know, people is self-righteous, and no matter what you tell them, they're going to believe what they want. They just going to have to face the judgment. We all going to face the judgment. We all going to face the judgment. So, this one is entitled Sin Lessons. Now, there's three main components to determining what is sin. The first one is the breaking of the commandments. There are 12 commandments, basically. You have the 10. You have the greatest of them all, which is the 2. Love the Most High with all your heart, all your soul, all your mind, and all your strength. Love your neighbor as yourself. So we're going to break down the 10 commandments. I'm going to show you exactly what that's talking about, so on and so forth. And when you break those, how that's sin and how everybody sins. This is why the Most High tests the mind, like I told you last week, and he searches the heart. Because he already know. He already know. So the first thing is the breaking of the commandments. The second thing is whatever does not come from faith. So this is what this means. And it's kind of 2 and 3 is kind of together. So, for example, in a marriage, what did God say? What did he tell a woman to do? What did he tell a man to do? If he told you that men shall have rule over, he told you to be subject to your husband, right? Right? So what this means is when you're not doing that, you're sinning. And so people wonder sometimes why the Most High doesn't move, why he doesn't react, because it be those obvious things that you can correct that you don't. See, the Most High already know you're going to sin, but what he's looking at is how you handle it. That's why the Bible says you shall be judged according to your works, not according to your beliefs, according to your works. See, this is one of the biggest grifts. You're not going to be judged according to your beliefs unless your works match that belief, or your works are the works that he wants you to work. Now, number 3 is disobedience to the actual behavior instructions of the Bible. Not preachers. What he really meant. So let's say I say something that's not what he really meant, you still not gonna win. It's what he really meant. That's why when it's all said and done, everybody gonna stand before him, and ain't nobody gonna have no pride left when he done with us. It's like we gonna find out things about each other. We gonna all be humble like this. I'm just glad I made it. So those three things, again, breaking of the commandments, whatever does not come from faith, and disobedience to the actual behavior instructions of the Bible. So where does this leave things like drinking, smoking, the lottery, sports? Because there's people out there that think that they being righteous by not doing those things. And in some cases they are. In some cases you aren't. Let me give you an example. If you don't do something because you trying to keep some kind of image, but deep down inside you want to do it, you craving for it, you lusting, you're not going to be judged favorably, more than likely, for not doing it. Because remember, he's testing your heart. Or he's searching your heart and he's testing your mind at all times. Whether you belong to him or not, he's searching your heart and he's testing your mind. So when you say, I don't gamble, but you play you got stocks, that's not going to work in your favor, man. I'm telling you. You being a hypocrite. And listen, man. I'm going to help you today. So, like another thing. You say you don't drink and smoke, but yet you haven't changed sexually. You smashing the deacon's wife. And you a deacon. You acting like that's your friend. And you smashing his wife. He go to the bathroom, you squeezing her booty. I'm a prophet, I tell you. The Most High be exposing stuff. And this is going on everywhere. Everywhere, every country. You got dudes that's talking about how they don't drink and smoke. But yet those, like he said, you omit the weightier matters of the law. That's what people are guilty of. You try to take the easy stuff that the Bible didn't even go in details about. You're a racist who don't drink and smoke. How's that going to work out for you in the end? You're an adulterer who don't play the lottery. How's that going to work out for you? How's that going to work out for you? You're a grifter scamming on people for money. You don't love the Most High. But yet, you don't drink. You don't smoke. You don't play the lottery. How's that going to work out for you? Let's go to the 10 Commandments. Because like I said, the breaking of the commandments. Let's break this thing down in case you don't understand them when you read them. You shall have no other gods before me. What does this mean? This means that you don't love nobody more than you love him. You don't put nobody in front of him. Not your wife, not your husband, not your kids. But you got to know what this means. Because in some things you serve him through that. So this don't mean that you always go on trying to preach. This means that he's first. He's first. When you wake up, you say something to him first. You don't eat first. Some of y'all, listen, I ain't the smallest dude in the world. But I'm going to tell you like this. Some of y'all idol is food. You get up in the morning. You ain't even prayed. You ain't even thanked him that you woke up. You shall have no other gods before him. A lot of people got money in front of God. They'll do anything to get money. They'll join anything to get money. You shall have no other gods before him. He gonna judge you. So stop lying on him. It ain't sweet, man. I'm telling you as a prophet, you don't gotta believe I am. But if you think that God is just this nice guy in heaven that's gonna let you slide on everything, let me slide on everything, you got him all wrong. You got him all wrong. Now, he ain't as petty as people, but he has his standards, though. You got people that doing drugs, ODing, wasn't thinking about God. They were hitting that thing, and they died. How you think that's going to go for them? See, y'all playing a dangerous game. You want to set up your own righteousness. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stop drinking, and that's fine. Because if you can't drink in moderation, or you can't drink in a way that's not damaging and that's not going to impair your judgment, then you need to do that. But don't be thinking that that's righteousness and holiness, because it's not. I've been a member to them so-called sanctimonious churches, man. Wasn't nothing sanctimonious about them. Funny acting as they wanted to be. Cliquey. Competing. Like I remember in this one church, out of respect, I'm not going to say what church it is. But the pastor's sister just loved when I speak. She used to be like, I just love when you speak. I wish I could hear more. And I could see out the corner of my eyes, her brothers looking at me in the church with jealousy. But they don't drink or smoke though. You see how that works? You can't have no gods before him. You can't have your standard of righteousness before him. You can't have your denomination before him. You can't have your mama, grandmama, none of that before him. You worried about what they think, so you don't get saved. You don't get right with the Most High. Because you in a family full of heathens. All of them going to hell if they don't change. So you don't want to, y'all got a thugged out family. Y'all known in the city. Y'all known in the city. So you want to keep up that reputation. You shall have no other gods before him. It ain't sweet, man. The worst thing you could do is live thug life. I'm going to tell you why. Because you can die instantly at the hands of these guys. And it's too late. You came back. See, I remember when I was working, and again, I'm sure I'm be again maybe in the future. But when I was working in the detention center, I would get on the thing and the PA, and I would tell them what my expectations were every day, faithfully. And they still would come out and do what they wanted to do. And then when they had to pay the consequences, oh, come on, Howard, give me another chance. It's too late. I used to say judgment is set. It's too late. Then, just like people are in hell right now they want to cuss me out. You BA nigga, you blah, 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 blah. And to me, if you ain't getting cussed out, if you a correctional officer and nobody ever cusses you out, you giving people their way. In corrections, somebody is going to be mad at you if you're doing your job right. So you shall have no other gods before him. See, that's what Adam and Eve did. They put what the serpent said in front of what the Most High had already told them. That's why that's number one. Number two, you shall not make unto thee any graven images. That could be people, the white Jesus little things. You got white Jesus all in your house. He didn't look like that, but even however he looked, you still shouldn't have it in your wall in your house. You keeping a person, like let's just say, y'all know my beliefs. Y'all know about some of my beliefs. You keeping the death of somebody as a souvenir? No, that's what he's talking about. Graven images. Let's look up the word graven. We could come back to this. Let's look up the definition of graven. And we at 15-minute mark. We got another one to do, so we go. Definition of graven. It says, to engrave an inscription or image on a surface. Marble graved with exquisite flower, human, or and animal forms. And this is talking in terms of worship. But it's saying that in a sense, we're not supposed to have none of this stuff. And guess what? We all do. We got the little giraffe heads. This is how you know ain't nobody gonna have 100% score. But he's testing the mind. He's searching the heart to give to the humble and the contrite. It says, thou shalt not take the name of the Most High thy God in vain. What does this mean? This means when you try to swear. That's why I tell you not to swear at all. Because you can avoid this by just not swearing. Or it's also like if you say, I swear to God, I'm going to smash her. Or you say something like, I swear to God, I'm going to kill him. Even though the word God is not his name, but it's like you trying to take his name in vain. See, we don't know his name. If I said his name right now, everything in this vicinity is going to be destroyed, including me. So I'm not righteous enough to say his name. I got to have complete cleansing and forgiveness, 100%, to, if I saw his name right here, to say his name. So what he's basically talking about is how we saying that we saved and we not. It's just a whole bunch of things. That's what he's talking about. So remember, sin is the breaking of the law. Remember the Sabbath to keep it holy. It says 6 days you shall work. So when I work 7 days, I'm coming up short. I'm coming up short. It don't necessarily say what day the Sabbath has to be. But in order to fulfill this commandment, you have to just not even care about money. Like if you're not rich yet, you can't care about money. Or it's not that you can't care, but you have to kind of limit how much you care. Because when you got these bills mounting up, now see, me just reading the commandments, I'm convicted. Because sometimes I work 7 days. I don't try to act like I'm perfect. And people don't, this is what matters more than what you think. So when we break these, it's, dude, listen. And I'll tell you something else. If you keeping the Sabbath, but yet you a heathen, you don't even live right. You don't keep the other commandments. You sleeping with another man's wife. You pulling a David move. Man, if I was your husband, you think you gonna basically make your keeping of the Sabbath nothing. Next, honor your father and mother. Here's what this means. This is important. When people look at your life in terms of the righteousness and unrighteousness, they should say, like they say to us, you have such good kids. Your kids are so respectable that they honoring us by being that way. You honoring your parents. If you look up the word honor, you honoring your parents. The way you conduct your lifestyle. And in some senses, like what you do for them. And what you do that benefits them. You honoring your parents. That's what that means. So if you're a crackhead and people like, man, they didn't raise her right anyway. You're not honoring your parents. Thou shalt not kill. What does this mean? We already know reading the rest of the Bible that this must mean something in particular because King Saul lost his kingship for not doing what the Most High said. So when it says you shall not kill, if you read the other books, you read the book of Enoch, you read the other books, this is talking about like shedding innocent blood, like let's say what serial killers do. Everything that's not from self-defense, everything that wasn't orchestrated by the Most High. Now, the Most High don't need to do that. I mean, the United States ain't even a kingdom. It's just a corporation, really. We don't have a king, appointed king or whatever. So this is not talking about, because remember, line upon line. What do it say? A good man what? Will not suffer his house to be broken into. So if you kill somebody that break in your house, that's not what this is talking about. I can prove it all through the scripture. You see people getting killed. Remember Jehu? Jehu was known as one of the most righteous men of all time. And what did the Most High tell him to do to Jezebel? This is why I say everything appointed by the Most High himself, self-defense, if you need to hunt, you got to keep that in context, man. You shall not commit adultery. Now let me show you what adultery is. For a man, biblically, adultery is if a woman is married to another man, she's his wife, and you sleep with her. That's adultery for a man, because a man can have as many wives as he wants. Why you think the Most High, 2 Samuel 12, why you think the Most High got so mad at David? Because David, he already gave him all of Saul's wives. And David literally set up Uriah so he could have his wife, Bathsheba. Or I think that was the one that was his wife. Put him in a battle that he knew he was going to get killed. Because when a woman is married to another man, when that man dies, she can remarry. All these women running around, running off with another man, divorcing it, you in adultery. See, it's different for you. See, a man can have as many wives as he so chooses and can, fulfill the rest of the law in terms of marriage with. A woman can only have one husband. Now, a woman, from a spiritual standpoint, is expected to enter into one marriage as a virgin. But if her husband dies, she can remarry. All this, you rebellious. Well, I don't believe in it. I'm not your slave. Holding back sex, doing this, doing that, rebelling this way, that way, and then you end up marrying somebody else. Adultery. Adultery. You might as well stop going to church. You might as well stop all this stuff. You need to make amends with the Most High for your adulteries. And you guys, you think you was long dong in that man's wife like that? Whoremongers and adulterers God will judge. Now, what is whoremongering? How does that come into play? Whoremongering is like you promoting whoredom. You the one that's paying for it. You the one that you done smashed her and moved on, smashed her and moved on, smashed. You promoting whoredom. You got these women they want another hit. They want to get hit again because of you. See, y'all think guys is listen, polygyny is biblical, but when you whoremongering, you causing women to become whores? You paying for them to be your whore? No, thank you. No, thank you. Let me watch this. According to the Bible and the revealed text of the Bible, jacking off is less than paying for sex. I'm telling you as a prophet, because here's the thing. You pay for sex, it's not going to end. She's still going to want more money. All of y'all dudes that's paying for sex, be careful with that. Because you being a whoremonger. Now do you. I know relationship horrible. I get it. You better off being like young Pharaoh or even Nick Cannon than going and reaching in your pocket paying these women for sex. So, whoremongering is that. That's what it is. The promotion of whores. You being a pimp, you trafficking girls, whoremongering. That's whoremongering. I don't want to hear about Andrew Tate. Listen, man. I don't want to hear about you being a Muslim or anything else if you really was trafficking them girls. When you stop trafficking them, then let's hear your religion. See, I ain't into you either. I come at anybody. And what you did on that video, pure blue pill. In your draw, singing, shirt off, that ain't something a red pill guy gonna do. See, this is where they get the red pill twisted. Stuff like that. A lot of people don't even know what it is. Y'all looking at people, just like in the church, people turning away from the church because of grifting and false prophet. They turning away from the red pill because of these dudes. Anton Daniels is not red pill. Angry Man ain't none of these dudes y'all look to. I told y'all, sometimes I got to throw YouTube in there because we on YouTube. You shall not steal. Stealing is defined as taking the property that belongs to another as your own without their permission. So, who cares what you doing? You stealing cars? Y'all young dudes stealing cars, then y'all die in a car accident? Guess what? We already know. We already know you didn't make it. 9 times out of 10 times out of 10. You steal a car and you die in it. I mean, that's sin on sin. Because when the Most High comes in, he gonna start to change that heart. And when you don't have no gods before him, that means you gonna need some new friends. So this is what happens when people really get saved. When people really get saved, it's like those friends, they gonna start looking at you different. Now, when they start making their way towards them, they'll start looking at you that way again. But when they out there away from God and stuff like that, they ain't gonna want to hang with you if you got that light over your head. You got them in your heart. I remember I couldn't shake dudes. The minute I got saved, they practically be acting funny, speeding off, half talking, all this, all that. They got a little older and they start seeing how life is and stuff, and they kind of change. Now their hearts are soft. Some of them is ready for this. So they start acting a little different, a little better, if you will. So, you shall not steal. This ain't for negotiation. Burglaries, robberies. Stop talking about God got you. You lying. Okay, he said you shall not steal. You stealing. You still think he got you? Thou shalt not bear false witness against your neighbor. What is this? This is lying on people. You lying on people. You trying to get people in trouble. What you saying about them is not true. That's false witness. So if you said somebody raped you and they didn't, that's false witness. If you saying somebody stole something and they didn't, it was a kid some years back. They got beat to death, and it's still a sad story. You know, it's really tragic. And he didn't even take the thing he was being accused of. Somebody lied and said he did. Bearing false witness, this person has a commentary. Bearing false witness. This one is about honesty. If you lie to someone, you are bearing false witness and may cause harm to yourself and to others. Thou shalt not covet. To covet means to be so jealous of something someone else has that you want it desperately. Coveting makes a person miserable and keeps them from putting God first. This commandment helps keep you from falling into this bad habit. It says, you shall not covet. It mentions your neighbor's wife or anything that is your neighbor's. So coveting is basically, if let's say I get a Mercedes Benz and people acting funny towards me because that's the car they wanted. Now they acting mean, bitter, like they got a problem with me. That's what this is. That's what this is. So I'm going to show you what it's not. So these guys on YouTube be saying that people jealous because they got subs. Listen, if Angry Man and Anton Daniels would not have taken up for Pearly, think of this for a second. If they would have been with us, all that backlash they wouldn't have got. They just would have had to deal with the other stuff they were saying and doing. This ain't nobody jealous of these dudes. They want to make it like people hating and they jealous. Look, man, you took up for somebody that wasn't this. Okay, let me break this down and close. They said, a lot of them said, no women in the space, right? Right? That's what we all was saying. Should no women be in this space, right? But then they let her, a white woman, which is basically favoritism, because when y'all was saying no woman in this space, y'all was saying that, and it was black women trying to be in the space. It wasn't white women. But then with her, everything different. And after that, you take up for her after she say that she don't believe we should get reparations. After she say that slavery is embellished, that Alex Haley was lying about it and was laughing. She was laughing. And on top of that, listen, I don't mean this in an evil way. To me, she's not attractive. She's not. Like, I'm not going to call her ugly, especially in the Sunday sermon. But to me, my fancy is not tickled when I see her. My fancy is not tickled. Hey, I'm being honest. I ain't bearing false witness. And they just bypass everything. I saw dudes that was saying no women in the space, collabing with her. And I'm still waiting on some of y'all. I'm waiting on you to go. You go, listen, man. Ain't nobody beyond this roast. Nobody, ain't none of y'all above this reproach. I'm waiting. You think the smoke gonna clear? It's not. I'm gonna do you just like I do Angry Man, Obsidian, and all the rest of them, and I might do you even worse. And you think I ain't getting no views. Always remember this. The view count is what YouTube wants you to see. If they shadow banning you, it's much higher. So that's what coveting is. You shall not covet anything that's your neighbor's. If that's your neighbor's wife, she's off limits to you. You like, man, her butt fight. Squish, squish, squishy. No. Man, that ain't fat. And that's somebody's wife. Now, if you don't know it's your wife, this somebody's wife, you don't know. Like, I mean, you looking at a chick, you don't know. That's different than if you know. Like somebody you used to work with, somebody you were friends with, somebody you are friends with, they women are off limits to you. But anyway, we got to come back with the double feature. So we're going to end this right now because this one is longer. We're going to make the next one much shorter. Thanks for watching. This is The Truth Man. If you want to start donating on Cash App, the Cash App is $, capital N O Matrix NOMATRIX NA, ASA. Wait, hold on. Let me start off. It's $, capital N O MATRIX NSASC. And it's in my description, by the way. You don't have to listen. I'm making money regardless. If you want to give, you giving to a non-grifter. I don't grift. And all y'all that's giving to grifters, you might as well do something worthwhile. But we ain't going to talk about that. We're going to get to this double feature. Thanks for watching. Keep tuning in. This is The Truth Man. The channel is the No Matrix, No Simping, All Subjects channel.